Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Avery. I am a NASM certified personal trainer, a Reiki Holy Fire Master, and a human design guide. I like to integrate movement into energetics so that you can have a whole spectrum of healing, integrating the science behind movement as medicine and the energetics and the intuition that comes with that. So today I excuse me, I just wanted to get some movement myself. I didn't plan on filming, but it's a beautiful day outside and I was tucked away at the computer, like I'm sure most of you are, and I wanted to just get outside, give my body some love, get some of that vitamin D and that tree nature, that tree medicine. So today is going to be an intuitive-led, just movement flow, and I very much encourage you to trust your intuition and what feels right through this flow movement. I will be instructing it as it comes towards to me. But right now, what I'm really feeling is just to get into some breathing. So if you can, take a nice seated position, whatever feels comfortable for you, cross-legged. Maybe you're sitting in your chair, maybe you're standing up and closing your eyes, sitting up tall, extending the spine, connecting into the breath. So this can be a breath that feels deep and relaxing, but not forced. And then with each inhale, imagining that the spine, each vertebrae, is getting a little bit more space in between them. We like that space in the vertebrae. Rolling the shoulders up and back down to take them away and out of the ears. Noticing if you're holding any tension in your neck, your shoulders, your jaw, your tongue. Keeping the neck and the spine nice and tall. Thinking about the spine and the crown of the head as something that connects you to God, to universe, to the ethers. Starting to really get into your body here. Noticing sensations. Whether they feel pleasurable or painful, just noticing them. Noticing if you start to just subconsciously turn your shoulders and your spine inward to kind of enclose on the chest area, or with each breath, you find yourself sitting taller and more open, chest out, heart open. Noticing just the natural progression or regression of what happens when you tune into your body. Bringing awareness and just to your postural, natural posture alignment. And I'd like you to bring that awareness into your everyday life as well. Start to bring awareness into your posture. Not only is posture good for the body, good posture, but it's also a sign, and it is deeply interwoven and connected into your emotions and how you feel. Breathing into that again. back into those body sensations if you lost it by thought. Are there tingles in the hands? Tingles in the feet? Do you notice that knot or that neck tension hurting? Is your back feeling sore from sitting up straight because you're not used to it? Breathing into those spaces. Couple more breaths here. One more deep inhale. And then releasing exhale. Rolling out the shoulders, gently opening the eyes, bringing awareness into your environment. Grabbing some water if you need to. We're gonna move into the hips a little bit. So I want you to take, coming on to your hands and knees, you're going to take a straddle position. So knees are going to come a little wider than hip, with finding what's comfortable for you. If you have really tight hips, you might need to go a little bit wider. So I'm here, my bottom's down in between my feet. Okay, again, if you have tight hips or hamstrings and this feels uncomfortable for you, just come to a depth that is okay for you, and then come to a width that's okay for you. This hip flexor area, your groin area, can be very sensitive because we're so used to being in a seated position that it's very tight for a lot of us and we don't get any of those other ranges of motion happening in the hips. So be gentle here. What we're going to do is we're simply going to take the hips up so that they are fully extended in alignment with the knees. So I'm going to come up and back down. That's it. Using the glutes to help you get up, taking the hips back up. You're going to really get those hip flexors working here and those glutes. So let's do a couple of rounds. We're going to go to 12 here. Okay, ready? Take that position. Inhaling up, exhaling down. 1, 2, 3, 1/2. Now giving 2 more here. Last one. All right, taking it down nice and gentle, staying in this position. We're gonna kind of shift here. So now I want you to come up on your hands. I want you to keep those knees wide, and we're simply now gonna take from this kind of straddle tabletop position, we're gonna take the hips back, down. So now we're gonna go back down to that seated position. It's gonna look like this, just coming down. This might feel a little bit awkward. I want you to take the knees a little bit wider too here if you can. Let me show you from this position. So I'm gonna go pretty wide here. Hands are in front of the body, coming back down and then up. Really opening up those hips here, right? Getting ready for that child's pose. So take that position. We're gonna go 12 times here. Hands on the ground, coming up and down. Not really worrying about if you're looking funny or not. Remember, some movements look funny just because we're not used to them. I want you to get used to just being in your body, not worrying about what it looks like. All right, I think we're halfway. I lost count. 8, 9, 10. 2 more. Trying to really sit down there. Okay. So hips are nice and warm now. They're feeling open and loose. Let's go ahead and go into a child's pose. So many of us are familiar with the child's pose. And I find The reason I did those 2 warm-ups there is because if we're going from our daily life, our seated position, straight into that child's pose, it's going to put so much stress and tension on those hip flexor areas because we're not warmed up yet. So I just wanted to get that motion going, that dynamic movement, loosen up the joints, loosen up those tendons and everything. So let's get into our child's pose. We're going to take the child's pose center, left, and then right. When we walk the hands over to the left and the right, what we're really doing is putting an extra stretch on that opposing side of the back. It's a great way to get that lat muscle engaged, and even going down into the glutes and the hamstrings as well. So take those knees a little wider than hip width, sitting back, hands meet the ground, right? We're gonna walk it out. You're gonna feel those hips here too. You can take your head down to the mat, rest it out, breathe it out. You may still feel a little bit tight here. Remembering to breathe into it. Hello, Dana. Breathing into that tension there. Making sure it's not painful, okay? Now gently walk those hands over to the left leg as far as you can. Keeping the body down. Once you get that position, you're going to feel that big stretch on the right side of your body here. Deep stretch there all alongside that right side. Gentle walk it back to center, and then we're going to go over to that right side. So back to center, and then gently walk over the right side so that you find that deep stretch on the left side of the arm, the back. Breathing into it. Right, gently walk it back to center and then back up to that seated position. All right, gently come out of this by putting the hands on the ground, coming up to a tabletop position, and then coming back into that seated position. Now, we did a couple of hip movements. I think we're going to check in with our breath again. So come to that seated position. Take that spine up nice and tall. Close the eyes if you feel cold. Take the shoulders back and down and relax them away from the ears. Check in with the breath and the sensation of the body now. What sensations are happening in between those 3 movements? I feel a lot of heat, a lot of warmth in my legs. Getting that blood flowing. Those muscles relaxed. Going into the sensations of your body. Dropping into the body and out of the mind. Noticing the slight, subtle differences. More breaths here. All right, gently opening the eyes, bringing yourself back into awareness. Let's take the legs out. Let's start. We'll keep the right leg in, close to the thigh here if you can. We're gonna take out that left leg. Foot is flexed up. All right, so it's not pointed. We want to keep it up. If you have a really tight hamstring and you have a little bit of a bend in the knee, that's okay. We're gonna do here, we're gonna go into that stretch, that hamstring stretch in that hip. So I want you to turn the torso towards that leg, and then you're gonna just gently lean over to it, okay? Let's just start here. So I don't care if you're touching your toes. It's not about touching your toes. If you can, great. But I want you to focus on turning that hip and then hinging forward here. You're gonna feel that on the hip flexor. You're gonna feel it here in your hamstring. trying to keep that spine up nice and tall, so I got a nice back stretch going here as well. Not putting any judgment on where you're at in your stretch. If you're feeling super stiff, I just want you to bring in deep, deep breaths here, deep appreciation for your body and its ability to do whatever it's doing for you right now. Okay, let's go into a deep breath. Inhale, and then on the exhale, I want you to round out the spine and try to grab the foot. If you grab shin, knee, ankle, that's fine. So, inhale. Exhale, fall forward now. If you can grab the toe, great. Don't force anything here. I always say, right, no, none of the 3 P's, pinching, pulling, or pain. Of course, you're going to feel a little bit of pulling because your muscles are tight and we're loosening them right now, but as long as it's not a pulling where it feels like, you know, one wrong move and no, we don't want that. A couple more breaths here. All right, gentle release, hand back on the shin, walk it up. Find your center, take a couple breaths in the center. Deep appreciation for that stretch and mostly for your body. Let's gently take this left leg in, help assist yourself if you can, if you need to. Now you're going to take the right leg out. This leg's going to meet that right thigh. You're going to sit up nice and tall, same thing as the other side. So sitting up nice and tall, turning that torso, and then hinging here. You might have one side that is tighter than the other, and that's okay. I definitely feel a lot more tightness here for myself. So just working on that hinge here, and moving from the hip, and keeping the spine straight, and like digging deep into that stretch for now. Okay, a couple more inhales here, and then we're going to take that back and fold it forward. In 3, 2, 1, rounding out. Walk it out if you can. Grab the toe if you can. Take the head down, round up the shoulders. Deep breaths here. Find yourself losing yourself in the stretch through the breath. Couple more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Gentle release those hands. Hands meet the shin. Gently walk it up through the thigh. Bring that leg in. Sitting up nice and tall in that cross-leg position. Let's go into some shoulder rounds. So sitting here, legs stay the same. I want you to take the shoulders in a nice circular motion, taking them back. So we're going to go up and down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Couple more motions here, and then we're going to take it forward. In 3, in 2, and 1. Meeting me in the center, making it forward. Here we go. Closing the eyes if you feel called. Last one. Big release. All right, then we're gonna go into some gentle neck stretches. Let's go into some rotations just because it feels nice, right? And I want you to take these rotations very, very, very carefully. Don't just be, whipping your head around. So we're gonna take the chin, we're gonna tuck it into the chest to come down, and then we're gonna gently take it to the shoulder, back, to the other shoulder. Ear meets the shoulder. Not directly, right? But that's what you're kind of aiming for in that direction. All right. So meet me in the center. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Just one direction for now. Hands can meet the ground if you need stabilization. Focusing on your breath, not getting too dizzy here. Just really getting in tune with that. Oh, those neck muscles, that cervical spine, the part of your spine that connects right body to head. Feeling deep gratitude and appreciation for you to be able to turn your head from side to side, up and down, yes and no. A couple more this way. Let's do one more and then we'll switch sides. So meeting me in the center. We're going to switch rotations, going the opposite side. Here we go. Notice if your shoulders start to round forward or if you start to slouch a little bit in that low back. Try to keep it up nice and tall and just move from the neck. Gentle rotations. We're not trying to force anything here. Last one. Take it in a full rotation. Meet me in the center. Okay, taking the head up. Let's check back in with our body and our breath. So grab some water if you need to. Sitting up nice and tall, cross-leg position. Hands are open, shoulders are back and down and relaxed. Spine is tall. Deep, relaxing breaths in a way that feels comfortable for you. Checking in with the sensations of your body. Are you tensing up anywhere still? How's that posture? Are you slouching? Are you trying to cover the heart space? Are you feeling more open and receptive? Are you squeezing your legs to keep yourself upright? Or are you nice and relaxed? Sit bone in the ground. Spine is helping you. Core is tight. Couple more breaths. Last one. Gently opening the eyes, coming into awareness with your surroundings. Now we're going to take the neck and we're going to turn it right to left. So staying in the seated position, shoulders are back and relaxed, spine is nice and tall. Finding your center, we're going to go left and right. Left and right. Nice and gentle. Start in whenever you're ready. Maybe you want to keep the hands on the thighs, palms open to receive. Connecting breath with movement. Meeting me in the center. Switching sides right to left now. Right, left. Remember to keep that spine tall, those shoulders back. Almost like that proud chest. We're not overarching or anything, but we're sitting up nice and tall. Might feel a little awkward if you're not used to sitting up tall. Might feel like you're like, who's this person with all this confidence walking around? Last one. Meet me in the center. Taking a deep breath. All right. Where does the body feel like being led next? I think we're going to take it down to that supine position, laying on the ground. So take yourself gently lower down to the ground. Maybe your back just cracked a little bit like mine did. That's nice. So, what are we doing down here? Well, we could take a little nap if you want. If you're already feeling relaxed and connected in your body and you want to go straight into a meditation, man, by all means do that. I think we're going to keep it here. So the feet are on the ground. We're going to start with our hands just next to our hips, just hanging out here. And now I want to work on some shoulder mobility. So let's take both arms up so that they're next to those ears. And then really stretch up and above, taking the belly button to the spine, spreading out those fingers and stretching up as high as you can here, as high as you can. You're going to feel that all in those lat muscles. Those are those big, large back muscles. Deep breath here if it feels tightness. Maybe you do feel a little bit tightness in your trap in your shoulder area and your neck. Try to like take the shoulders a little bit down and away if you feel that too much. Fingers are spread wide, 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 wide. Deep breaths here. Okay. Now we're going to go into some dynamic movements. So, taking the arms gently back down to the side, we're going to take the right arm up while the left one stays down, and then we're going to repeat opposing sides. So right arm comes up to the ear, and then left. You're simply just moving right arm up and then left arm up. Opposite times. Getting those shoulders really, really warm here. Feeling that deep stretch every time, not rushing through it too much. Keeping those fingers nice and spread out. Three, 2, and 1. Taking both arms next to the side. Let's go into a nice glute bridge stretch. So feet are going to stay planted on the ground. I want you to take the shoulder blades and tuck them slightly underneath. Hands are going to come on the ground for now. We're going to take the hips up. All right, squeezing the glutes. And then I want you to, if you can, gently rock the shoulders underneath the body so that the hands meet. All right, and you're going to really rock them and get as high as you can there so that those shoulder blades are as pinched as possible. And you're going to take it up here so that the heart, the rib cage, right, is coming up, opening that heart space, pushing through the glutes, and holding it here. Feet are firmly planted, grounding you onto the ground. Glute and posterior chain is nice and contracted, holding you up like a stable tabletop here. Shoulders are nice and tucked behind you, giving you that nice foundation for your upper body. Gentle release in 3, 2, and 1. Gently take the fingers away from each other, taking those shoulder blades, lowering those hips very, very slowly here, coming down onto the ground. Taking a couple breaths of just lying here. All right. Let's take both feet together. So you're going to take that foot, right foot, lay it on its ankle, left foot gets laid on its ankle as well. Feet are touching each other here, and they're just going to let those knees hang heavy. If this is really tight for you, you can grab some pillows, all right? Put them underneath those legs to help support you a little bit. And breathe into this right here. Opening up those hips even more here in this butterfly stretch. You want to intensify it? Let's take the stretch back into the shoulders. Fingers are wide here. Wide, wide, wide. Stretching up through those back muscles. Full body stretch here happening through the hips, the back, shoulders. Hi, Dana. Feeling yourself just open up. Opening up the hips, releasing the emotion. Opening up the shoulders. We stretched and warmed up that cervical spine. feeling grateful here, flexible. Couple more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Gently bring the arms back to the side of your hips. If you need help, you're going to take your hands on the outside of those thighs. Gently bring in those thighs. Gentle, 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 gentle here together until you feel that tension release. All right. Let's go into just one more stretch here. We're going to go into the figure 4 stretch. It stretches out the glute, the hamstring, and the hip. So feet are on the ground. You're going to take the right one up, and you're going to fold it over that left leg so that the ankle is past the thigh. Like if you were sitting down in a chair and you folded your leg over, it's the same concept. Here, I want you, if this feels like a good enough stretch for you, perfect. If you want to advance it, you're going to take right arm through that hole. Left arm's going to come on the outside of the left thigh, meeting underneath. You're going to grab it in towards the body. And you're going to hold it here. You're going to feel it all on this hip. You're feeling it on this hamstring here. If that is too much for you, maybe you just want to keep it here. Maybe you put like a little pressure here, opening the hip in a different plane of motion. But if not, bring it in. Closing your eyes, connecting in with that hip area. That hamstring, relaxing the shoulders into the ground, melting that upper body into the ground so there's no tension there. And you're focusing all your breath on that hip. Couple more breaths. All right, gentle release. Release the hands. Take the left foot down onto the ground. Release the right leg from it. Switching sides. Left leg comes over that right. Left arm goes inside that hole. Right arm comes on the outside of that right thigh underneath to bring it in towards the body. Closing your eyes here. Relaxing the shoulders into the ground. Focusing on purely the hip area, the hamstring. Breathing it out. Couple more breaths here. Three, two, one. Gently releasing the fingers, taking that right side down, releasing the left. Now, let's just go back into the sensations of our body so we could stay here. All right. Find yourself in a lying position. Let the feet fall away from the body. Let the hands open up. Let everything melt into the ground and find your breath, and then tune into the sensations of the body. How are you feeling now? How are the hips feeling versus the beginning? How do the shoulders feel? What kind of emotional state are you in connection to your body right now? Staying here for as long as you need. If you enjoyed this intuitive-led connection into the body, to the sensations of your body, and the stretching, you can like this video, subscribe for more, and hit the notifications button for new videos. My name is Avery, and I'm so grateful that you joined me today.